Welcome Aries, thank you for joining me for your monthly forecast for June 2019 for the Sun or the Ascendant. This month begins in dramatic fashion. The Sun in your sector of everyday communications meets with the Moon on the 3rd. Your communicational skills can sparkle over the next 2 to 3 weeks. It's an opportunity for you to raise the vibe when it comes to your ideas. But ambitions are still very much to the fore because Saturn and Pluto are still closely tethered together in the first 2 weeks of this month, and they're not far apart in a conjunction in the second 2 weeks. The critical thing, I feel, is that your opportunity to make progress around your resources and in a practical way is beautifully blessed in week 1, as Venus in Taurus, its home zone, forges an ace link at the start of this month with Pluto in a way which can see you transform your resources very positively. Now this can come about because you have great taste, a great relationship with the people you're doing business with, or your instincts are finely tuned. And that brings me to a theme which is going to be incredibly important to this month's prospects for you. It's a link all month between the North Node, which is the point of destiny, now in the sign of Cancer, which for you is very much about feelings, emotions and security. And it's forging a link with Neptune for the whole of this month, which really says to you, Aries, it is vital that you do not eschew your sensitivities. So even though you may have those goals and ambitions and you may want to strut your stuff in a confident and ambitious way, you also need to be able to tune into people astutely, understand the emotional dynamics of any situation that you're faced with. Now it's also true to say that your ruling planet Mars is in Cancer too. So once Mercury moves into Cancer as well on the 5th, we have a mega lineup of influences, the North Node, then of course Mars, and also Mercury. So it suggests that your actions, Mars, your thinking, Mercury, and the opportunity which comes from the North Node, which is a kind of mini Jupiterian thing, can see you expanding your prospects through some kind of reformation at the basis of your existence. Now, if you're thinking about extending your home, moving to somewhere bigger and more spacious, signing the lease on your first flat, or perhaps taking the first step on the property ladder, this could be a month where you really do want to see things through and show tremendous determination. But it's very important to know that though Venus moves on the 9th, joining up with the Sun in the sign of Gemini and giving you tremendous ability to communicate in a kind of cute and quick-witted and charming way, I still feel because Mars and Mercury go into brutal oppositions with both Saturn and Pluto. Formerly Mars with Saturn from the 10th to the 15th, and from the 15th to the 25th, Mars goes into an opposition with Pluto. If there is any situation in your life where there is a political dynamic, maybe it's a boss who's very demanding, but not so attuned to your need to have rest, recovery, and good support in your home life. Or perhaps it's you who is so focused on your goals and ambitions, you can't really remember the last time you sat down and had a heart-to-heart with your partner or key family members, then I do feel some pressure points can build up right at the heart of this month, quite frankly. Now, there is the summer solstice, which occurs on the 21st, around about 4:45 in the evening at GMT, but then, of course, on the 22nd, the Sun makes its way into Cancer. So you can see this Cancerian energy is not going to be fading away, it's actually going to be intensifying. But there's more than this, Aries, because in week 2, the Sun goes into an opposition with the planet of expansion, Jupiter, but that's still in a retrograde. And then in week 3, Venus goes into an opposition with Jupiter. And that can give you some extra confidence to up your vibration, to tell it large, to be very, very charismatic, but you can't endanger the basic foundations of your existence, which comes from your emotional relationships. So, however much you want to drive things forwards, I do feel there needs to be a little bit of a safety first attitude. That doesn't mean to say you can't be progressive. Doesn't mean to say that you can't achieve things. I think it needs to be done in a collaborative way, especially with your closest supporters. If you're being very prescriptive about how things can be, you're likely to get some big opposition. If there is someone from a different age group in your home environment, they may have a radically different vision of how things could be approached and may not hold back from demonstrating how they feel to you. But then again, the opposition between Mars and Saturn, which can create frustration and a short temper, quite frankly, and also Mars's opposition with Pluto, which is very forceful. It's possible that the inner energy that these can create are going to play out on you as much as how you interact with other people. But I feel by the end of the month, it is going to be important to stay mindful of your need for security, even if Uranus is stirring the pot in your second solar house, forging a great link with Mercury from the 5th for around about 4 days, and also with the Sun from the 22nd, and they're pushing you to think about how you can use innovation and fresh approaches to creating more space at home, a fresh approach to a nagging issue which has held back progress in the past. But whatever you're wanting to achieve, if you're over forceful, if you want things only on your terms, the chances are you're going to push an association to absolute breaking point. So however frustrating you may be finding someone, however much they're not getting your goals and ambitions, however much your desire to receive greater recognition is, that's all entirely legitimate. It's how you go about it that's really the key. And if you demand that attention, you demand that recognition, you demand that other people give you the support that you feel that you deserve, I do think, quite frankly, it's going to be counterproductive. So it's all about relating. And that's where that new moon of the 3rd can be so valuable to you, because it's asking you not just to speak, but also to listen. And that's a challenge that many of us have these days, because we have so much stimuli coming in, so many distractions through Facebook and YouTube and text messages and blah blah, that it is sometimes difficult to really clear our minds of all that white noise and create the space to have the conversations which are truly important. And for you, it's about balancing your needs, your security, your emotions with what is viable and where you can gain support from others. Just don't force it, don't demand it, and by the month's end, I do feel that something can be evolving much to your satisfaction. Thank you for having joined me at your monthly horoscope forecast. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to know more about what's going on in your situation, go on a journey of discovery beyond your zodiac sign by embracing your personal astrology. This is based on your time, date and place of birth. And if you no longer live in the same location where you were born, in terms of your forecasting, I can relocate you to where you are living now. Not a lot of services like this offer that particular feature. But equally, I use a form of forecasting called directions. This is where we take your personal horoscope when you were born, your natal chart, and advance it for roughly 1 degree for every year of your life. These are particularly impactful. The influence that they have on your natal positions, but also on moving planets that they impact upon now, the transits, really are very powerful. To find out about this, and also if you buy a character analysis and a forecast at the same time, I will give you a 30% discount. Please see the link beneath this video. This is an opportunity to understand some of the more trying patterns that have kept occurring in your life, but also to overcome them, but also embrace the positive opportunities you have to grow and to make the most of your innate talent and skills. And there will be information that can really take your breath away. It's so much more powerful than just your sun sign. Thank you.